The long and winding road that is the 2025 Monster Jam season has led us on to Salt Lake City, Utah, where tonight Monster Jam welcomes a capacity crowd to Rice-Eccles Stadium for Monster Jam World Finals 24. And I cannot think of a better way to kick off the biggest event of the year than with one of the biggest stunts ever as we introduce the newest truck in Monster Jam from Spin Master. It's Tech Deck Rec Deck piloted by Bryce Kenny and Adam. We are about to see an incredible stunt to kick off round 25.
Yeah, the buzz has been crazy. I had a Tech Deck when I was a kid. My son currently has a Tech Deck, and today we are bringing a 12,000-pound Tech Deck into the Utah Stadium.
The buzz has been building on this mystery stunt as Tech Deck Rec Deck comes crashing through the tunnel at Rice-Eccles Stadium, the crowd erupting as we kick off World Finals here with Bryce Kenny's Tech Deck Rec Deck into a donut. We're also getting our first look at this exciting track, Adam, which we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. But Tech Deck Rec Deck has arrived, and I'm excited to watch this stunt.
Yeah, the truck looks so good. The stunt is going to be very difficult. Lining this up is going to be crucial.
Up onto that blue lane, the elevated turn, we see a grind rail here. First time in Monster Jam history, a grind rail has been positioned onto a track. And we are about to see maybe the biggest stunt in history here at World Finals 24 as Tech Deck Rec Deck backs up to the wall here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. And there we go, brake check grind rail for Tech Deck Rec Deck. Some big air off the backside of the step up. And what a stunt. That back end of this skateboard is hanging on by a thread, Adam.
Yeah, Bryce Kenny, and there's the backflip from Tech Deck Rec Deck.
Into the backflip, there goes the back end. What a stunt for Bryce Kenny. Fans going nuts here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Bryce Kenny going nuts, and we are ready for round 25 at World Finals. What an incredible way to start the night in Salt Lake City, but we've got a long way to go. Welcome to Monster Jam World Finals and welcome to Monster Jam Primetime. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Adam Entignap, and we've been waiting all year for this. The time has come, Adam, to begin crowning 4 world champions.
Yeah, Scott, I couldn't be more excited this year on Monster Jam Primetime. It has been incredible, and tonight, the best of the best go at it to make history.
We got to see this elevated turn track in action during the last chance qualifier with Jamie Sullivan unable to compete in Sparkle Smash. That opened up 2 spots in the main field and taking those by winning the LCQ. Adam, were Cole Vernard and Matt Cody.
Yeah, 2 totally different stories there. Cole Vernard, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and then Matt Cody giving away his bid last year to Dalton Widener, and this year making his way in, deserving it for sure.
Let's hear from our 2 LCQ winners, Matt Cody and Cole Vernard, as we joined Leslie Mears on the track with his Northern Tool and Equipment pit report.
Such an exciting race here to make it in the LCQ. Matt, I'll start with you. You know, you had the automatic bid, you gave it up last year, and now, tooth and nail, you fought your way in today, earned it, you get to race in freestyle in the main field.
Hey, like you said, I've had to earn everything that I've had in my driving career to get to this point, to be behind the wheel of a Gravedigger, and just go through that bracket. That was a tough bracket. I mean, people were getting fast, we were having crashes, and all I had to do was stay smooth. I got the best crew chief, Mike King Huntley, and he just kept telling me every time, you're smooth, you're fast, that's what's gonna get you there. And without great crew, and me being where I was at, I couldn't have did it. And like I said, we're playing on house money now. We're in the main field, and whatever happens the rest of this weekend is all just fun and memories.
Well, and for you, Cole, it's been just ups and downs. All the emotions this weekend. Coming in, a truck didn't have steering, and then you come out here and you race like that today?
Well, not only the first pass, I was so happy that we had steering, just like you said, but then the transmission went out. So I got to give a shout out to my crew out there. They busted that transmission out, got that truck ready to go. They were keeping me in this race. I was on the fence. I was like, I need to get my trust into this truck, and we got it today. So the big boys better watch out. We're coming for them. Team Gravedigger here with Matt and I. We're coming for you guys. We love it. We can't thank you guys enough. We won. We freaking won. Woo!
Indeed, they did win. They're in the main field. Up first is JCB Racing, where all 24 drivers have been pre-selected into either Group 1 or Group 2's racing bracket. Here's our main field lineup. Former world champions here as well, as we got some newbies. Mike Pagliarulo and Excalibur Adam making his World Finals debut.
Yeah, definitely going to be cool to see. But the guys I'm looking at, Zach Garner, reigning World Finals champion, runner-up Tristan England, Tyler Menninga, your series champion, Ryan Anderson, the veteran. So many drivers out here. It's going to be incredible.
John Zimmer Jr. also making his main field debut. Now, Group 1's JCB Racing winner will then meet Group 2's winner in the championship race, determining the 2025 JCB Racing World Finals champion. Let's go to Track Talk. Here is a big overview of this elevated turn that drivers are going to have to conquer not once but twice. Adam, what would your strategy be here in Salt Lake City to take the JCB Racing win?
Well, the first thing is it's all about this elevated corner. These track builders did an incredible job at making this difficult. You're going to come down that straightaway so fast, and then what you're going to hit is an uphill, and the truck is going to compress. The brakes are going to work a little better, so the timing there is going to be very difficult. Not only that, but at the top, the truck is going to unload, get very slippery. We're going to be watching that all night long.
And in practice and qualifying, the red lane incredibly dominant over the blue lane. Lane choice going to be crucial here in our World Finals JCB Racing. Here is your bracket. There's your first round buys. Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Zombie, Megalodon, Stars and Stripes, and Gravedigger among those 8 fastest qualifiers. And the other side, Classroom Crusher, Monster Mutt, Son of a Digger, Wildside, also automatically advancing into round 2. Some great round 1 matchups, and we're going to get to the track at Rice-Eccles Stadium to kick off our JCB Racing competition. And up first, it is going to be Tristan England, JCB Digatron, against 2-time World Finals champion Colt Stevens and Thunder Roars. We'll see how these lanes play out. We got our first green light, and World Finals 24 JCB Racing bracket has begun. Tristan England slinging JCB Digatron, but it's Colt Stevens with the lead in the blue lane.
Looks like JCB Digatron gets a little loose, and Thunder Roars is off the track.
Little wobbly on the landing was Colt Stevens. That gives the edge to Tristan England, but he clipped the pod, and Colt Stevens has caught up. Final corner here, Thunder Roars and JCB Digatron. And coming down the final jump, it is going to be Tristan England getting the win. Take a look at the original Super Glue, glued to the action replay.
You can tell right here, Colt Stevens just gets a little bit sideways off of that landing. He has to correct there, and that's where the time was lost. You also see Tristan England sliding out a little bit, but it just looked like right there at the end, JCB has the edge.
Our next pair, Dalton Widener, Jurassic Attack, in his second main field appearance against Jim Kohler in Avenger Stars and Stripes, so to speak, in his 24th Monster Jam World Finals. Jurassic Attack, red lane, Avenger, blue lane, up onto the elevated turn. Dalton Widener going to take that corner nice and tight and neat, and Jurassic Attack with the lead.
It looks like it's going to be hard to find traction in this turn. You see Jim Kohler going way wide, giving Dalton Widener the advantage coming down the straightaway.
Jurassic Attack clips the pod again. We saw JCB Digatron do the same thing. Another great corner for Jurassic Attack as Avenger goes wide, and Dalton Widener moving on in JCB Racing with a time of 27.445.
You see Jim Kohler here, he just pushes wide in this corner, gets a little bit too much speed down that down ramp, leaving a lot of open track, and then in this last turn, you can see he goes wide as well. Dalton Widener figuring it out quick. That is going to be crucial.
2 races in round 1. Monster Mutt Dalmatian will meet JCB Digatron. Zombie will meet Jurassic Attack. More racing still to come here as we are just getting started with round 1. We pick it right back up with more JCB Racing when we return with more Monster Jam World Finals on Monster Jam Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. We're back at Rice-Eccles Stadium for the biggest event of the year. It is Monster Jam World Finals 24 as we continue on with JCB Racing. Cody Saucier in Dragon goes up against the Reno Central Series champion John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. As Terminal Velocity is off the blue pod first, and into that first corner we go. Out wide goes Terminal Velocity, but Dragon spins out, and John Zimmer Jr. has the lead.
Looks like John Zimmer Jr. has a little more speed coming down the hill because he went wide on that first turn. Cody Saucier grabs a left front BKT.
John Zimmer Jr. figuring out this blue lane again, slinging Terminal Velocity. Cody Saucier has to hit the brakes, goes wide again, clips the pod, and John Zimmer Jr. gives the blue lane his first victory of the night, 28.670.
Cody Saucier definitely having his troubles here. John Zimmer Jr., though, goes wide as well. You can see he just oversteered that rear tire. But once again, John Zimmer Jr. comes away with the win.
And Dragon with an exclamation point on the roll. Next up, one of our LCQ co-winners, Matt Cody, Gravedigger Stars and Stripes, against Mike Pagliarulo and Excalibur. Two drivers making their main field debut. Only one will advance. Excalibur with a great turn. Look at Matt Cody. You thought he would have had that lane figured out, but he is all kinds of discombobulated on that red side.
Yeah, just looked like Matt Cody had bad execution on the braking point there. Right now, Excalibur getting a freebie.
Mike Pagliarulo has to get this final corner, though. The Gravedigger slinging himself all the way across. Nice brake check by Matt Cody. Too little, too late. Excalibur wins. Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Matt Cody right here, you can see he tried to set the truck in there and it just pushed a little wide. There's a lot of mud on that upper red side corner right now. It will dry out, but the drivers are going to have to be very careful.
Next up, Brianna Mahan, Scooby-Doo off the arena circuit, going up against five-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson, back in Gravedigger the Legend. Lanes 2-2 so far. Adam Anderson has the blue lane, Brianna Mahan in the red lane, and Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend, has the lead coming off the ramp.
Adam Anderson just needs to set it in this corner, but he goes wide. Brianna Mahan stays tight.
Way too wide, but he's able to accelerate. He gets the 1-2 downshift on the straightaway into the final corner. Brianna Mahan takes the corner tight, and she has got the lead, and we have an upset. In round one, Brianna Mahan takes out Adam Anderson. Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
I cannot believe it. Brianna Mahan comes away with the win by a nose, Scott.
The former World Finals champion 5 times over is out of the bracket. And here is El Toro Loco against Sparkle Smash. Caleb Blood driving Sparkle Smash, but Armando Castro has some thoughts on this track, and for that, we check in with Leslie.
Armando's takeaway from practice is that he's really got to pitch it in that hairpin turn early in order to pick up speed down the straightaway so he can make up time in seconds.
Caleb Blood with a nice first pass here around this track. Armando Castro does have the lead in the red lane. El Toro Loco comes off the ramp, gets some air, and El Toro Loco going to advance 27.992. Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
You can tell right here, Armando Castro just carrying a little bit more speed into that turn. Caleb Blood not on the throttle enough in that last corner.
Check out the back of the Black Pearl, Ryan Anderson on there. Some Dumb and Dumber action on the back. Colvinard always hilarious with what he puts on the back of that truck. Here he comes against Weston Anderson in Gravedigger Red Primer. The LCQ co-winner spins out at the top of the red ramp, and Weston Anderson has a clear shot at the finish line in the blue lane, but he is going over as well.
Weston Anderson needs to regroup and get this done. Colvinard has a shot, and he has the lead, Scott.
Colvinard solid, slings the Black Pearl in the side, but Weston Anderson has caught up again. And look at Colvinard, he goes too high, and Weston Anderson able to finish the race. You never give up at Monster Jam World Finals, and neither one of them did. Weston Anderson moving on.
Always something special here at World Finals. It just looks like our two LCQ winners are having trouble in that first corner, having the traction, and then Weston Anderson brings it in a little too hot into turn one.
Weston Anderson able to finish strong. Looked like he was DOA in that far corner, but he's able to keep it going. That brings us to our final round one matchup. Gravedigger Grandma against Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer. Gravedigger Grandma in World Finals competition here for the first time. Cynthia Gauthier quicker off the line. Kristen Anderson slowing down on the red lane, and she comes to a stop, goes way too wide in between, and now Lucas Stabilizer has an advantage.
Yeah, that red lane elevated corner is so difficult right now. You can see how slick it is. The mud is still there, but that is good news for Cynthia Gauthier.
Got to finish off on this final quarter in the blue lane. Clean pass for Cynthia Gauthier. Lucas Stabilizer, she does come off sideways, goes off the starting line, the ramp, and I don't know if she crossed the finish line here, Adam. They are going to give her the win, 29.593. What a finish, though. Take a look at the replay.
You can see Kristen, you see all the mud on the top of that elevated corner, and then we're going to get a shot of Cynthia here. It looks like she just swaps out. Those trucks are getting light coming off that elevated turn. It's going to make for a difficult racing competition.
Let's take a look at the bracket. Moving into round two with JCB Racing, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, JCB Digatron, Zombie Jurassic Attack, Make Stars of Stripes, Scooby-Doo, Gravedigger, El Toro Loco. And then moving on to the second half of the bracket, Classroom Crusher, Terminal Velocity, Monster Mutt, Excalibur, Son of a Digger, Grave Digger, Red Primer, Wild Side, Lucas Stabilizer. Fastest time in round one, Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack, 27.445. We are one round down. Up next, the 8 fastest qualifiers get their shot at this track. It's round 2 with JCB Racing next on Primetime. Monster Jam is proud to partner with and support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit monsterjam.com/St. Jude to learn how you can join us in the fight against childhood cancer. Fans have come out in droves at Rice-Eccles Stadium for Monster Jam World Finals 24. We're going to get you caught up with the JCB Racing bracket. Your round 2 matchup, the fastest qualifier, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, will kick it off against JCB Digatron. And then we get a brother matchup, Son of a Digger versus Grave Digger, Red Primer. And up first, it is the fastest qualifier, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian against Tristan England and JCB Digatron. And with more on the first race of round 2, let's rejoin Leslie Mears.
Guys, Blake's got a lot of confidence out here in the truck. He said it's the best truck that he's ever driven, and he's got an amazing crew chief out here. That alone gave him a lot of confidence. Pair that with the consistent times that he has. He said he knows he can push this truck to the edge because it's just going to stay planted for him.
The 2025 JCB Arena Racer of the Year has the lead. Tristan England not going to go down easy. He does spin out in the blue corner, and Blake Granger will advance to the quarterfinals, 27.251. Take a look at the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult things is not turning one mistake into two. Tristan England knows he's a little bit behind. He's trying to push it into that last corner. You can see he gets wide right into that cushion. It's a little loose right there. Hammers the throttle, and that's the end of it.
There was some track maintenance done on the top of that red corner, Adam, between rounds. You mentioned that mud as we see Zombies Bar Musauer against Dalton Wider in Jurassic Attack. So here we go, second race of round 2, and it is Dalton Wider faster off the top of that pod. Zombie makes a nice tight corner, but right now Dalton Wider accelerating and has the lead.
Dalton Widener is one of those pure racers. He's always been great in this competition. Right now he has the lead, but once again, it's coming down to this last turn. He's got to stay tight.
Final push here. Barney Musauer has the lead, but look at Dalton Wider's going to shift it across the finish line as Zombie soars as well, and Jurassic Attack is going to get the lead, but Zombie says, no way, I'm going right into you, pal.
Barry Musauer right now feeling the World Finals pressure. He wants it so bad, just like every driver does. You can see he just clips the edge of that ramp, and he's going for the gusto right there at the end. He gets a little sideways. Those BKTs were hooking up, rolls over, and ends up on the hood.
This World Finals, everybody is giving it their absolute all the way across the finish line. As we see John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity up against Camden Murphy in Classroom Crusher. Camden Murphy looked great in practice and qualifying, getting one of those fastest 8 times. He is in the blue lane. He has chosen that blue lane, and we will see how it plays out for him. But right now, Terminal Velocity all over Classroom Crusher with the lead.
You can see how much better the elevated corner is on that red side. It is going to be so hard for Camden Murphy, and he grabs the pod.
Into the final turn we go. Terminal Velocity, Classroom Crusher, both with great corners, but Terminal Velocity has the lead, and Terminal Velocity gets the win. John Zimmer Jr. moving on. Proud Papa moment there, 27.329.
Yeah, this race was won all on lane choice. Camden Murphy, a slight little hiccup there. You can see him grab that pod, but he stays in the throttle. This last corner on that red side has so much traction. Camden Murphy just couldn't make up the deficit.
Camden Murphy, the first driver to choose the blue lane and lose. It's Excalibur's Mike Pagliarulo, Bryce Kenny in Monster Mutt. As Mike Pagliarulo looks for his second win here on this track. Bryce Kenny with a great start off the pod. Bryce has chosen that blue side as well. And now we see Monster Mutt with the lead. Some elevated air there for Monster Mutt as we go into the next round.
Bryce Kenny, nice corner right there. Both drivers are pretty even. It looks like Bryce gets an advantage down the straightaway.
Second round of passes on this elevated turn for Bryce Kenny and Mike Pagliarulo, and great from start to finish. Bryce Kenny never looked back. He is moving on with a time of 27.303. Here's the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Yeah, Bryce Kenny right off the line had great execution. You can see Mike on that red lane side just a little bit behind. Mike tries to stay tight, but he pushes a little wide, gets off into that cushion where Bryce Kenny just gets the drive down the downhill.
Let's see where we stand in the JCB Racing bracket. Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Jurassic Attack have advanced to the quarterfinal round. as well as Terminal Velocity and Monster Mud. So more races still to come. And up next in round 2 is two-time World Finals champion Tyler Duke against Brianna Mahan and Scooby-Doo. For more on top, we bring in Leslie.
Guys, Todd's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder coming into racing for the second year in a row. He's been barely bumped from being the fastest qualifier in his bracket. And he said that he feels like he's got a little bit of edge on everybody else here too, because he said this berm style out here reminds him of the short course off-road racing that he's done in the past.
Tyler Duke always has a chip on his shoulder. He's trying to take out Brianna Mahan, who's already taken out a 5-time world champion. But Tyler Duke stays strong in the red lane. Tyler Duke moving on in Megalodon Stars and Stripes, 26.621, fastest time so far.
Yeah, it looks like all these drivers are trying to make up that last little bit in this last corner. If you're behind, it is just too difficult. Todd LeDuc staying all the way to the inside. Brianna Mahan just on the throttle a little too hard in those rear BKTs, sliding out.
We continue on here with round 2 of JCB Racing. It's Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. He is up on the red side of the pod, and he goes up against Tyler Menega in Gravedigger. Tyler, the strongest racer on the Stadium Series in 2025, winning Stadium Series East. And right now he's got to take out Armando Castro. Clean pass so far for Gravedigger as Tyler Menega has the advantage going into that second half.
Got to make sure you slow down and get tight right here. El Toro Loco, nice tight corner. He's going to make it a good race, but Tyler definitely out front.
About a push here for Tyler Menega, and it is going to be too much for Armando Castro trying to catch up on the red side. Overdid the corner, overshot the truck, and he ends up on 2 wheels. Tyler Menega advancing.
Yeah, Tyler Menega race lights out just now. You can see the ruts are forming on that red side. So much traction. You could take advantage of that if you don't overdrive the truck, but Armando Castro coming up just a little short.
Next up, it's all Anderson as we see Weston Anderson in Gravedigger red primer against Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Ryan choosing the blue lane, Weston in the red lane. Son of a Digger, Gravedigger red primer. Meeting for the first time in Monster Jam World Finals. Son of a Digger has the advantage over his younger brother.
Weston Anderson had a good set in that first corner. Ryan Anderson, though, just an all-out racer, gets a little wheelie going down the straightaway.
Son of a Digger clips the pod, slowed him down a little bit. Weston Anderson slinging Gravedigger red primer, and Ryan Anderson gets off to the side. Weston Anderson gonna beat his brother. I'm not sure if that's an upset, but what a race, 27.434.
You can see Ryan Anderson almost did identical what Brianna Mahan did right there. Just loses traction right at the top of that corner. It must be very slick on that blue side.
Zach Gardner, wild side, your reigning JCB Racing champion, is going to go up against Kristen Anderson, Gravedigger grandma. She is back because Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, unable to make it out to the track. So Kristen Anderson gets another shot here against Zach Garner, and Zach Garner undefeated in his career in World Finals Racing.
Yeah, well, I like what Zach Garner did there in that first turn. He went a little wide and tried to cut down, get around those ruts. Kristen Anderson having a little bit of trouble in that second turn there.
Zach Garner 26-11 in his career against Kristen Anderson, going for win number 27. He's got a clean shot at the finish line, a wild side with a beautiful race here in Salt Lake City, 27.506.
Zach Garner definitely has a racing mind. You see him switch up the lines, get out of the ruts, cut down. But that blue lane elevated corner is so slick. And then you see right here in turn 2, Kristen Anderson sliding out just a little bit and grabbing that pod.
Coming up, we take a break from JCB Racing and move to the Utah Sports Commission 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. That's next from World Finals on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by the Utah Sports Commission. Utah, the state of sports. Salt Lake City, Utah is the home of Monster Jam World Finals 24. It's round 25 from Rice-Eccles Stadium. Excited crowd on hand for World Finals. Before we get to the skills competition, I want to talk about the Utah Sports Commission. Adam, you've competed here in this city before. What was your experience like working for them?
Yeah, well, it's always so professional. I love everybody in Utah. Everybody's so welcoming, and the culture down in the city is absolutely amazing. It's great to be partnered with them.
All right, now we're going to give you a more in-depth look at the Utah Sports Commission.
I'm Jeff Robbins, the President and CEO of the Utah Sports Commission. And the Sports Commission was created to have a legacy after the 2002 Olympic and Paralympic Games, to bring the games back at some point in time. So to have the games coming back to Utah is terrific. We've had over 1,200 events since we were created. Our first event was Monster Energy Supercross in 2001. So we've been doing stuff with Feld Entertainment for almost 25 years now. We've had Ironman World Championships, we've had World Cups, we've had NBA All-Star Games, and we're also working with WWE, UFC, and other major properties. You're now seeing sports and entertainment converge. Monster Jam is at the pinnacle of entertainment. The impact of the Monster Jam World Finals, we're looking at that maybe being as high as $100 million. So when you're community hosting the events, you both get great image building and also tremendous economic impact to the state.
Epic things happen here in Utah. So to bring the biggest show that Monster Jam has to offer right here in Salt Lake City, I mean, it's just fitting.
Salt Lake City is one of the biggest sports destinations in the country, and I think you can see why behind me.
You've got it all here. We've got the nature side, we've got the motorsports side. If you're an adrenaline junkie, this place is for you.
Well, now it's time to crown our first World Finals champion in the Utah Sports Commission Two-Wheel Skills Challenge. Let's take a look at the 8 drivers competing for the World Finals Championship. Ryan Anderson, Weston Anderson, Armando Castro, Tristan England, Blake Granger, Tyler Menega, MJ Solorio, and John Zimmer Jr. As we get back to the action here on the track, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Each drivers will attempt their best maneuver on 2 wheels. They're going to get 45 seconds to perform each move in their combinations. They're going to be scored by both fans in attendance and an expert judging panel consisting of Dennis Anderson, Tom Mintz, Heavy D, Michaela Telechka, and Fernando Martinez. The expert judge score accounts for 75%, with the fans allotted for the additional 25%. Blake Granger comes off the step up right into a nose wheelie stoppie.
Yeah, right now, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Blake doing a great job. So much control right now. Remember, this thing is 1,500 horsepower. Tries to walk it up the step up. Not quite the momentum he needed.
Too much slickness on the ramps right now. 6.628 for Blake Granger. Here is Tyler Menega and Gravedigger going off the step up again. This time keeps the nose wheelie extended.
Yeah, says to Blake, I see you do it. Maybe I can do it a little bit better, get a higher score. He's going to walk this thing out, see if he can get that combination back up the step up. Tyler doing such a great job, has so much control, always been great in this competition. Here he goes for the walk back. Looks like he grabs those rear wheels, Scott. Can't get that combination.
6.420. MJ Solorio, Toro Loco, just found out he was competing at this at the press conference. Tries to get up the container and is able to save it with a bounce.
Well, a little bit of controlled chaos from MJ here. Gonna walk this thing out, kind of putting himself into a corner, though, with that landing ramp right there. He's not gonna be able to do much. Looks like he's getting a little combo with the rear steer, get some more points from the judges, and then gonna set it down.
Looks like he tried to flip the truck up. 6.704 for MJ Solorio as we take a look at the original Super Glue. Glued to the action replay.
Yeah, he just gets himself into a corner. It's so difficult. He's looking straight down right there. That's kind of his view that he's gonna get. He knows he can't go any farther, trying to communicate with his crew chief, maybe try to get that thing popped back up into a combination, but just cannot execute.
Tristan England, JCB Digatron had more wins in this competition than any other driver on a stadium series. Take JCB Digatron right up the pod and back down.
Yeah, this is one of his signature moves. He tries to flip it up, but it looks like he's gonna just walk it across the pod for right now, do something safe. Watch the other drivers, maybe he thinks he's gonna get it done, but he's gonna walk it down the pod, Scott.
He is hammering on that throttle. You can see that there, and he is able to try to flip it up here, but runs out of room on the ramp.
Yeah, definitely a very difficult trick, walking it forward down the pod. He's gonna have to get this truck inverted. You can see that right now. And then he's on 1 BKT, Scott. The level of difficulty to make that thing bounce on 1 BKT, balance it down the ramp. Wow, what a performance from Tristan England.
Perfect combination of throttle rhythm and hammering on the brakes as well for Tristan England. There's the fan score, 9.107 with a 7.864 total score. He is now in the lead in the Utah Sports Commission Two-Wheel Skills Championship. There is your leaderboard. And here is Ryan Anderson, the 4-time World Finals champion and son of a digger, going up onto the container and going to rest those back 2 BKT tires right on top of that trench box.
Yeah, tries to pop it off. There he goes. He gets the little popper off the container. Little extra throttle from Ryan Anderson right now, going back and forth.
That counts as one move. Momentum was used to flip the wheels back up. Ryan Anderson, 6.566, low score for son of a digger.
Yeah, a little more chaos than normal. I'm wondering if he's going for that. That's kind of what he wanted. Hits the throttle extra hard, and you could see he's going to get the combination out of it by hitting the brakes and then throwing the truck back in reverse. Trying to get something crazy there, but going to set it down.
Here's John Zimmer Jr., terminal velocity, won the silver medal 2 years ago in Nashville. He is up off the container as well into a nose wheelie.
Yeah, trying to walk this thing out. Been wanting to see somebody try to do kind of like an inverted front flip. Let's see what he can pull off here, see if he can get the momentum.
Moves it back to the container, but he just doesn't have it. Lands it right on the wheelie bar. Didn't even have an inch on the BKTs to be able to spin it out. And here is Armando Castro, the Toro Loco, our defending champion.
Armando Castro definitely has a high standard to hold up to here, being the reigning World Finals champion in this competition. Walking it out across the floor. Great control here. Remember, these are 12,000-pound trucks. Tries to flip it up. Over-rotates just a little bit.
That won him the championship at SoFi Stadium last year. Not going to get it done here in Utah. Our final competitor, Weston Anderson, comes off the blocks into a popper.
I like that Weston's going to do something a little different here off those blocks. Gets the truck turned. You can see he's going side to side there, doing something just a little bit different. This might bode well with the expert judges and the fans. He's on one wheel right now, but he's kind of getting himself into a corner. See what he can pull off.
Tries to flip it up. He's going to go for a cyclone. Nothing there. 7.251. That will get him on the podium, though. Here's the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Yeah, you can see right here, he's going to try to walk it out, and then he wants to be straight with that step-up ramp. That would be ideal, but he's a little tiny bit crooked, and I think that's where it all goes wrong. You can see that front right BKT get off to the side, catches that edge, and it's all over.
Weston Anderson, Gravedigger red primer as Tristan England looks on. Celebration has ensued up here as Tristan England now recognizes he has won his second World Finals championship. As we take a look at our final leaderboard in the Utah Sports Commission Skills Championship, Digatron is in first, Gravedigger red primer second, El Toro Loco yellow in third. Tristan wins his 12th Skills Challenge of the season. He led all stadium drivers with 11 during the season. Number 12 gets him a World Championship as he is on the podium. We are going to now head down to the podium for our pit reporter Leslie Mears as she talks to our new reigning World Finals champion, Tristan England, JCB Digatron.
We know that you took home the most skills championships on the Stadium Series this season, but a lot of hard work goes into it on the simulator at home. To take this trophy home, to be the king of skills, as you just said, what does that mean to you today?
It really means everything. I take a lot of pride in the skills competition. You know, Tom Metz, he was the best at two-wheel skills, so every time I go out to MJU, I watch video over and over again. But when I got out there today, I really didn't have any nerves, and that was the craziest feeling, just to go out there and say, I think I got this. But honestly, I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, but staying smooth and consistent, just like we did all year, got us this trophy right here. But there's so many people I got to thank. My beautiful wife, my son Crash. I know they were here to celebrate with me. My dad, my mom, my grandparents back home that were watching. My grandmother gave me a little Jesus to put in my pocket while I drove. They knew something special was going on today, so I thank them for that. But thank Feld Entertainment, Tom Metz for teaching me some skills, my dad teaching me everything mechanically, and Feld Entertainment for giving me this opportunity to have a career that's so flourishing, man. I'm blessed. I love this place. Utah, we're coming back next year, and I'm not looking back.
We're set to head back to the JCB Racing competition. We've reached the quarterfinals. There's your bracket. Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Jurassic Attack, Megalodon, Stars and Stripes, Gravedigger, Terminal Velocity, Monster Mutt, and Gravedigger Red Primer versus Wildside. Fastest time so far, Tom the Duke, Megalodon, Stars and Stripes, 26.621. Coming up, we are down to our final 8 trucks. One will drive away as the World Finals champion. Who will it be? Find out next on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Crush it, crash it, jam it. We are back with more World Finals 24 action. We're going to take a look once again at the bracket for the final 8, the quarterfinals of JCB Racing. Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Jurassic Attack will kick it off as we now head down to the track. It is Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack in the red lane against Blake Ranger, Monster Mutt in the blue lane. Dalton has lane choice, but more. We go to Leslie.
Dalton told me that he enjoys extra passes on the racetrack. Would have been great to have a bye. Those 2 passes under his belt have got all the jitters out for him. And he told me by the time I get to the semifinals, I'm going to be really comfortable and really ready to attack this track.
Blake Granger in the blue lane for the first time. Dalton Wider trying to bring this one home. He slings the truck up into that red corner. Blake Granger spins out. That is the blue lane striking again, and Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack, gets the win. Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Blake Granger knew what was on the line. He slinged that truck in like there's no tomorrow, hit the gas, but he could not make up the time.
The fastest qualifier eliminated from JCB Racing, Todd LeDuc, the 2-time world champion, Megalodon Stars and Stripes. Also against 2-time world champion Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Tyler with an unbelievable 2025 season in racing, but it is Todd LeDuc all over Tyler so far halfway through.
And what happened was Todd LeDuc just stayed very tight in that last corner. If Tyler Menninga doesn't figure out, Todd LeDuc's going to win this race.
Final corner here, Megalodon Stars and Stripes hits the brakes. Tyler has got to accelerate here to catch up, and Todd LeDuc is going to get the win over Tyler Menninga and advance to the semis. Check out the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
The only difference here was the line choice. Todd LeDuc stayed as tight as he possibly could in that last turn. Tyler Menninga almost made up the time, but Todd LeDuc comes away with the win.
26.841 for Todd LeDuc and Megalodon Stars and Stripes. Bryce Kenny in Monster Mutt going up against John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Bryce Kenny chooses the red lane. John Zimmer Jr. comes down the blue lane. Pyro here in Salt Lake City. 2 great drivers, 2 great athletes, almost neck and neck, really tight here as we get the halfway point of this race.
If John Zimmer Jr. wants this race, he's going to have to lead it coming into the last turn. And look at that, Bryce Kenny hits the pod on the left side.
Just went too tight on that red corner, ends up in the air. He has got no room here for error, and John Zimmer Jr. will advance to the Final 4 in terminal velocity 27.931.
I love it. This is what World Finals brings, that extra added pressure. Bryce Kenny gets on the throttle just a little early because he knows what's on the line, grabs the pod, and that's the difference.
Our final race this round features Weston Anderson in Gravedigger red primer with lane choice going head-to-head with Zach Gardner in wild side. Weston takes the red lane, Zach in the blue lane. 2 of the young rising superstars in Monster Jam, a World Finals champion, a 4-time series champion, trying to get to the semis. Weston Anderson with the lead.
Looks like Zach Garner's rear tire just clipped the edge of that landing ramp coming down the pod, and then Weston Anderson does the same thing as Bryce Kenny.
Same exact spot on that corner. Everybody just shooting that gap too tight. They're clipping the pod, and that's all the room Zach Gardner needs. Wild side moving on. Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
You can see it's getting slick at the bottom of that red lane. Weston Anderson gets on the throttle just a little hard, hits the pod like a jump, and stays on the throttle.
We are down to the fastest 4 in the bracket. The semis are next on Monster Jam Primetime. Welcome back to round 25 of Primetime. Today's festivities kicked off with the biggest pit party of the year, the biggest pit party in motorsports, as fans arrived early to Rice Eccles Stadium and meet their favorite drivers and see the trucks. If you want to attend the pit party in Monster Jam, get your tickets at monsterjam.com. We are back in Salt Lake City. We have reached the semifinals in JCB Racing, Jurassic Attack, Megalodon Stars and Stripes, Terminal Velocity, Wild Side. The fastest time of the round, 26.841 for Todd LeDuc in Megalodon Stars and Stripes. And there he is in the red lane. He is staying right where he has dominated so far tonight up against Dalton Wider at Jurassic Attack. The winner advances to the final round. And Todd LeDuc taking on Dalton Wider. He has mastered that elevated corner, and Megalodon Stars and Stripes has the lead.
You can tell Todd LeDuc just has the perfect line on that red side. Doesn't get too whiskey throttle in turn 2. It's going to be a good one.
Final corner here. Todd LeDuc bounces it up on 3 wheels, able to take the turn, and Todd LeDuc in his final racing bracket of his career at World Finals will advance to the final round. 26.389, Adam, fastest time of the night.
Yep, Todd LeDuc is absolutely on fire. You can see how tight he's staying to that car in the red corner. Dalton Wider just could not keep up the pace.
So Todd LeDuc will face the winner of this next race. It's going to be 2 best friends going head-to-head, and it is Zach Gardner in Wild Side. He gets lane choice and he will go to the red side as well. He takes on John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity. And here we go. Todd LeDuc awaits the winner. John Zimmer Jr., Zach Garner, best friends off the track. Competitors going for a spot in the final round on the track here tonight.
If Zach Garner could execute that top turn like he just did, he's going to come away with the win. But don't get me wrong, terminal velocity is going to make it difficult.
Wildside nailed that corner the drivers have struggled with. Wildside with the lead and Wildside with the win. So in back-to-back years, Zach Garner going to the finals in JCB Racing 27.082.
I love the heart I seen out of John Zimmer Jr. in this last corner. He gave it everything he had, put the pedal to the metal. You see right here at the finish line, he's going to grab the edge of the step-up ramp. He's pushing it to the absolute limit.
We have reached the finals of JCB Racing. Let's take a look at that bracket. Megalodon, Stars and Stripes, Wildside, Todd LeDuc, Zach Garner. Todd with the fastest time of the night, last round 26.389. He will get lane choice in the JCB Racing Finals, which means coming up next, we will crown our JCB Racing World Finals champion. Will it be LeDuc or Garner? Find out when we return with the epic conclusion of Primetime. Tens of thousands on hand here at Rice Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City. We have reached round 25 of the Monster Jam season. It's World Finals 24, and this is our JCB Racing bronze medal race. Jurassic Attack's Dalton Wider, terminal velocities John Zimmer Jr. Dalton Wider gets lane choice, and he has wisely taken that dominant red lane, which has absolutely been on rails so far. So Dalton Wider, John Zimmer Jr. trying to get a spot on the podium. Dalton Wider nails the corner, and Jurassic Attack has the lead.
John Zimmer Jr. going wide in that first turn, counting on the momentum down the hill, and he does get it. This is going to be a great race. They're nose to nose right now.
That straightaway working on that second gear, final turn. John Zimmer Jr. slings it out too far wide, and it is Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack. In his second main field appearance, he will end up on the podium winning the bronze medal.
Yeah, you can see he just used too much of that cushion, leaving a little too much track open on that inside. Dalton Wider stayed tight.
And here we go. We reach the JCB Racing Finals. It is an epic one. Megalodon's Todd LeDuc, Wildside Zach Garner. Todd looking for that fairy tale ending to his storied Monster Jam career. Zach Garner looking to go back-to-back in JCB Racing. He is undefeated in Monster Jam World Finals Racing, but Todd LeDuc with lane choice again, sticking to the red lane. And LeDuc on that red side, Adam, has been unstoppable tonight.
Yeah, he definitely has been, but we're hearing word from Zach Garner. He's having steering issues, so he's got to make it happen right now.
Front steer issues almost didn't get him to the line, and it's going to cost him a world championship, Adam.
Oh, my
Zach
goodness.
Garner made it off the line, goes too far to the right, and Todd LeDuc has a clear path to a storybook finish to his unbelievable career in Monster Jam.
Todd LeDuc has to be screaming in his helmet right now. He cannot believe what is happening. He's coming to the finish line.
And the final jump of Todd LeDuc's racing career leads to his third World Finals championship. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Man, sometimes in racing, it just does not work out the way you want it. You can see Zach Garner has steering issues right off the line, opening the door for Todd LeDuc, and comes away with one of the biggest wins in his career.
Valiant effort to get on the track for Zach Garner, but this is Todd LeDuc's moment. He wins his third World Finals championship, his first in 10 years. He will ride off into the sunset as a world champion. Let's go down to the podium for Leslie Mears and our JCB Racing champion.
As you stand on top of the box here, you know, Todd, not very many people get to go out on their own terms and then go out on it as a champion. You know, we saw you push it harder than you've pushed it in probably the last 5 years out here. What does it mean to put this as the exclamation point on your career?
No, it was unbelievable. You know, like I told Frankie literally just before I came up here, I'm like, I'd rather win a world championship than a tour championship. Yeah, like I said, I'm calling it a career and full time, and to end it with a mic drop of winning a world championship, not in just big air or skills. In racing, man, we worked our way all the way to the top, and I was proud of myself. You know, that right lane made me sweat a little bit. It was super greasy, but I like that lane over there. When they fixed it up a little bit, I committed to that lane. I just told myself, Todd, don't second guess it. And unbelievable. My hat's off to my kids back at home, my family, my girlfriend, Frankie. This is his first world championship as a mechanic. Unbelievable. This is just awesome. It feels like a dream.
What an incredible way to start the World Finals competitions. We get Tech Deck, Rec Deck, one of the best racing brackets in years, and Tristan Nealon and Todd LeDuc return to the top of the podium as World Finals champions. And Adam, the best news is we are just getting started in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. At World Finals, we have these monumental moments, and World Finals has once again delivered. We have 2 more world history-making moments to make.
We'll be back here at Rice Eccles Stadium with more World Finals coverage in round 26 with the Lucas Oil High Jump and BKT Freestyle, so make sure to join us. For Adam Entignap and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right here next time on Primetime.